Another year and another filled October we have, because today we're discussing the Welcome to Blumhouse, one of the movies at least, because this week there are two new films, Black as Night and Bingo Hell, and next week you'll be able to do another double feature of Madres and The Manor. Now, I'll only be covering Black as Night, but I still wanted to let you guys know about those two, because last year, while I didn't love the movies, some of them were kind of interesting, and it looked like a lot of you guys had that great feedback from them, and I think it's going to be the same way here. Some fun horror movies for the Halloween season, two double features to do, one this October 1st and one next week on October 8th. Well, it's time to talk about Black as Night, because that's the one I got to experience. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today we're discussing the brand new horror film from Blumhouse, Black as Night. Now, of course, a teenage girl with self-esteem issues finds confidence in the most unlikely way by spending her summer battling vampires that prey on the New Orleans disenfranchised with the help of her best friend and the boy she's always loved, and, well, a particular rich girl as well. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to vampire movies, I'm always kind of into them because we don't get a lot of vampire stuff in horror nowadays. A lot of the time when it comes down to horror, all we really get is like demons, ghosts, cults, and that's really it. Maybe a slasher here and there. So I was looking forward to see what Black as Night could possibly do. And being one of the main films this week for the Blumhouse double feature that you can possibly do, Bingo Hell doing the other one, this was the one that caught my eye, and I said, okay, let's invest some time with this. And I did, and for me, I overall enjoyed this one. I think it is a silly, fun horror movie for the most part, that if you turn your brain off, you're going to be able to sit here and enjoy it. It's not cinematic greatness, but it's like that nice fast food that you throw in your mouth. You're like, that was good, and then you go on about your day. And that's kind of how you're going to feel about Black as Night. I didn't think it was anything special to any of that nature, or one of the greatest vampire horror films I've ever made, but I still enjoyed it, and that's at least the good thing. Of course, if you guys are new here and you guys love talking movies, this is the channel for you guys. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below your guys' overall thoughts. Are you guys excited for this movie? Are you not? Let's discuss it all down below. Diving into this, I think one of the big pros about this movie is actually the culture of what they bring to life in New Orleans, and in general, just the kind of little segues that they get to see. One of the big things that I really dug about last year's Welcome to Blumhouse, and I think it's the same thing kind of following suit, is these brand new directors that we've never really heard of have these creative, unique visions for a select property that maybe we've seen before, but in their own unique style. And the director here, Maritte Lee Go, I think kind of brings this to life again, from the culture of New Orleans to just in general the culture of our characters and the developments they live in, and just in general their world and where they are in their own society and life, I think is very important. And in general, also reflecting on the vampires and the nature of it itself, but playing on its own twist and playing with the typical vampire. Vampires don't like garlic, vampires don't like the silver, and things like that I actually thought were a fun cheek and tongue way of playing around within this genre that, again, we have seen many times before, just not really much recently. Going in as farther as this, Keith David is in here, and he's so charismatic, he's so energetic, and I absolutely had a blast with him. Asjha Cooper, I thought, was a great leading lady in here, and I actually think she is probably one of the best parts about the entire film, and if it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have liked the movie as much, because she is such a charming, delightful, and beautiful character to really much watch on the screen, and her performance really much shows in there. And I think, again, going back to the direction here, this isn't a straightforward horror movie. It's not supposed to be. It's a silly, fun one at that, and I think for me, when I say silly, it adds into that cheesy flavor of it. It's tongue-in-cheek, it knows what it is, it knows that vampires can somewhat be a funny nature of it all, especially if you go back and revisit some of the Universal Classic monster movies, and that's okay to have that vibe. If it wasn't for that vibe, and if it really didn't set that in the beginning, I probably would have literally hated this movie. But the fact that I understood the assignment, and I think the cast and also the director knew it, it made it work. The other thing I'll also give to it is, again, all the vampire nature, all the mythology kind of built into here. You've seen it before, but the way that they're able to build it into this entire frame of the movie, I was sitting there going, all right, this is pretty enjoyable. If you're just looking for like a nice little segue to, hey, enjoy yourself during the Halloween season, you're right there at the right spot. Of course, let's get down to my mixed aspects of the movie. And my mixed aspects of the movie is pretty much the entire story. It's not bad. And it's not even the fact that I've seen it all the time before. It's just pretty predictable. I sat there going, okay, really this? Oh, really this? And I get it's that silly in nature for certain selective things, but certain choices by select characters, or just in general where the direction of the story goes, I was like, well, I knew that it was going to go here. But there was a couple times where I was like, okay, like, I understand what we're going for. but this is kind of eye-rolling. And the last bit of it that I can always say is the con to this movie is it's not one that I feel like I will really much remember in T-minus a couple days, or even just after October. This isn't the next horror film that I'm going to revisit every single year for the rest of my life. No, it's just one that I had fun watching for now, and I think if you watch it, you're probably gonna have the same fun time if you're expecting just a silly, fun horror movie. Black as Night, it's a fun movie. That's as much as I can give it. It's not scary in any means. There was maybe 1 or 2 jump scares that really got me, but I did like the vampire nature of it all, and I thought the mythology was actually pretty cool. So good performances as well, and to kick off the week with another Welcome to Blumhouse double feature, I think Black as Night was right up your alley, especially if you're into vampires. If you're not into that silly tone and you're looking for something a little bit more scary, I don't know if this will be right up your alley, but, you know, that's what's so great about the Blumhouse double features is that if you don't like 2 things this week, you can try the next 2 next week, or just in general read and pick which ones you want to watch. So, with all that said, I'm going to give Black as Night a C+. And I know a C+ might sound a little bit harsh to some of you guys. That's like a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not even fine. It's just good. It's good. I liked it. So with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this. You guys seriously all the best. Let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are. Are there any of the other Welcome to Blumhouse films that you guys think I should check out? I really wish I could make time for all of them, but with this week coming up, I'm actually going to be going over and seeing Dune early at the New York Film Festival. I'm flying out for literally less than 48 hours to see the movie, explore New York, and come right back to Arizona. And I'm excited to give you guys that. I'm going to be vlogging the entire trip as well as doing a review of Dune the second I get back for all of you guys. So once again, thank you so much for all the support. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And make sure to head on over to Sammy Films on how to see movies early. And of course, there's a big thank you to you guys once again, and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So of course, until next time, stay classy.